Hey, good morning. Happy Sunday to you. I'm Kait Parker.
And I'm Reynolds Wolf, and this morning, you might be searching for a bit of a blanket or some kind of thing to keep you warm because temperatures in a lot of spots are going to be in the downturn.
Some snuggles, some hot cocoa, some coffee, whatever it is. You got to grab it this morning. Get that dog close to you.
Yeah.
Hold it tight.
Absolutely.
Get that warmth.
Keep going.
Yeah. Or the cat, if you're a cat person. We like them too. In Detroit,
might be
normal.
appropriate. I mean, you know, this will get, look at these conditions. They'll get you meowing across parts of the Ohio Valley. I mean, that's good. That's nice. Rip current risk, not so much. That's not a good thing.
That's the musical Cats.
Yeah.
If you're trying to go watch that out on the West Coast, I tell you what, you have temperatures that are 10 to 15 degrees above average. This is not helping firefighting efforts out here.
Very true.
But it is dry if you are a tourist in the area and looking to do a little tourism.
Absolutely. In Dallas, you've got 91 degrees. Maybe some splash showers might be in the mix. In Nashville, partly cloudy skies. In Minneapolis, 71 degrees. A beautiful day expected for all of you going out to the game. Outdoor game for the Vikings. Should be a lot of fun.
Let's go ahead and take a look there. What do you say?
I think so.
For this St. Paul Oktoberfest, where you can grab your brews, you can grab your German foods, you can send them all to me because I love German food and I love German beer. Please, just cheers in my name. Prost today if you can. Cleveland, 20 degrees below, less than you were just 24 hours ago. Not 20 degrees below zero. I almost said that. That's not what I meant. That was a Freudian slip. I'm so scared of winter. Indianapolis, 17 degrees colder than you were just 24 hours ago. So a big change, but still comfortable outside. I mean, you are in the 50s, so if you're heading out to church this morning, I think you definitely need to layer on, put on a jacket, but this afternoon you can shut it because look at where you get up to. Detroit gets up to 71, Louisville, 77, St. Louis, 78, Minneapolis, 71 degrees today, and the temperatures only go up from there. There's a look at the high. It's hanging out in the southern plains, and we're going to see that warm flow return and move a little farther north. This is really going to be what helps you get those temperatures back 5 to 10 degrees above average. This is just by the middle part of this next week. So very quick rebound for you. In fact, take a look at these numbers. Look at Tuesday. By Tuesday, you're up to 85 degrees in Des Moines. North Platte is 90 degrees on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you're at 90 in Wichita. 86 in St. Louis. Feels more summer-like than it does fall-like, that's for sure. And Minneapolis, 70 degrees by the time we head to Thursday, so a little bit of a cool down there. But look at this. Kansas City, this is a look at your forecast. Staying in the 80s all week. Kind of unbelievable for the end of September, right? And then you've got Wednesday, your warmest day at 87 degrees, a full 10 degrees above average for this time of year. What? What is even happening, right? In Dallas, another spot that's going to be incredibly warm. Your average high, 87. You're going to be 96 on Tuesday. You stay in the 90s all week long. I know that you're itching for a little heat relief here in Texas. It's just not going to happen quite yet, Reynolds. And we've got the winds on here as well to really give you that clear picture of this very broad area of low pressure. See this here? Yeah. Well, this is where we were looking from that picture yesterday, and you'll notice a lot of the thunderstorm activity out here on the east side, but the west side, very dry. The winds coming in out of the north. I know that anyone who is a surfer in Florida is watching this morning and they're like, thank you, Kait. Thank you so much, because the surf the swell's gonna pick up out of the north, especially along the Treasure Coast. Okay, take a look at this. Look at this dry air that has finally moved into Florida. I mean, has it been long enough? You've been sitting under that trough for so long. That was increasing rainfall every single day, and now finally you have a little bit of the dry stuff. I think you're gonna wake up and feel spectacular across Florida this morning, even just a little bit lower dew points. That's nice. We've got a little more moisture heading into the southeast, but look at this. This upper level disturbance, you'll notice where this is located. In order to get this 96L, right, to be a tropical cyclone, we have to have a stacked system, and you'll notice that it's way out here on the surface level. So as you go through the atmosphere, you're not stacked, and so you're not going to have a warm core that is the, bread and butter of a tropical cyclone. You're not going to have what you need. Now, it is natural to have spin along these troughs, this little stalled out front, this boundary right here. As they move south, it happens, right? This is very common. So this is not unusual. We're going to keep most of the rain, though, on the east side, not so much on the west side, which is great news. There is a risk of rip currents, and the wind's going to be a little bit on the breezy side. So please be careful if you are heading out. I know a lot of the surfers are getting excited, but if you're not a strong swimmer on this last weekend of summer, please, oh please, be careful. Only swim where it's guarded, and please do not go in the water. Heed all warnings about rip currents. and their risk. Take a look at the rain today. It's not completely out of Florida, but until later this afternoon, you actually stay pretty dry, and then we kind of get those showers hanging out down 95, and then you get them across Alligator Alley over into Fort Myers. You'll see one or two. You'll get one over Lake Okeechobee, and maybe one or two in Miami and Broward-Dade and Broward counties. I just combined them. Miami, Broward, Dade County, right? It makes sense to you, Reynolds?
Absolutely. You always make sense.
This weather, but you may notice something a little different whenever you walk out the door this morning. You walk outside and you go, whew, right? In Cleveland, it's 22 degrees colder than it was this time yesterday morning, 17 degrees cooler in Indianapolis. Huge change with this front. You've seen this mega cool down, and you might be saying, okay, so if it's in the 50s now, what can I expect this afternoon? And it's actually a pretty nice warm up. So it might be a little chilly to start if you're going out for a morning jog, if you have early morning mass, whatever you may have earlier on today, you're going to have some issues with maybe a light jacket, but make sure you're layering because this afternoon, 72 in Chicago, Louisville at 77, Detroit, a beautiful 71 degrees, a little below average there, but enjoy today. And we can speak positively about this because if you don't like it, you get the warmth back tomorrow. It's spreading north once again. Right out of the south, that center of high pressure scooting a little bit farther off to the east. So you're going to see those highs once again go 5 to 10 degrees above average by the middle part of the week. In fact, by Tuesday, you're up to 86 in KC, Reynolds.
Oh, wow.
In the United States. So 200 local brews. Think about that for a second. You're going to have a busy day, I'll tell you that much. Hey, how about this? We've got some rain today in the southern plains. You know those thunderstorms that are roaring across Oklahoma right now? Yeah, we're going to be watching for some of those, and you'll notice a couple of them down into Texas along the Red River, but otherwise very quiet weather-wise. The front has exited New England by this time tomorrow, so Boston only 66 degrees there, and you'll notice that on the East Coast we do have a couple showers in the forecast, not a lot, but a couple of them there, otherwise very quiet. Now watch what happens in the southwest, the desert southwest. You start to get that monsoon amplified thanks to some added moisture. So we're very concerned about the flood potential going into Tuesday and Wednesday this week. Please pay attention to all signs. Pay attention to water in the road. Pay attention to the arroyos, anything like that. Don't plan any hiking trips for the middle part of this week unless you have a way out, because that water can rise very quickly. We just don't want another tragic situation like we had this last week. And then look at, by Wednesday, Minnesota getting a good soaking. That scoots a little farther east on Thursday, Reynolds. These even happen. You know, why is it that the sky always looks blue and then at sunset we get these gorgeous oranges and we get the beautiful reds and yellows? Well, it's because of visible light. So that includes every color from red to violet. But look at the science behind this. Blue and indigo and violet, they have much shorter wavelengths than we have with the longer wavelengths of red, orange, and yellow. So those scatter very quickly. Blue is the one that is scattered the most. It's called a Rayleigh scattering that we look at here. And our eyes then perceive the sky as blue because that's what's being scattered the most. Now, these longer wavelengths here, they have a lot more atmosphere to pass through as the sun lowers through the sky because you've got more of that horizontal line there, and that's why when the blue and the green is scattered out, the sky appears to be more red, orange, yellow for us, so giving us that beautiful sunset color. Don't you love it, Reynolds?